Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel. Now in this video we'll be talking Erik ten Hag's defensive crisis. Now with some players being out of contract, there's a lot of issues going on at Manchester United backline. I mean, the injuries are definitely there as well. We'll be talking about each defender, the likelihood of them being sold, what their contract situation is, what that means for Manchester United, and we're talking about players who we could bring in. I might give you three players that Manchester United may look to, defensive structures that Manchester United might look to bring in. And this is the video preferably on the centre-backs. We're going to be going into detail, every player. And I thought this is an interesting video because where Manchester United is clear that we want to sign a new centre-back. I think the quality of our defence has been quite poor. And I don't think the depth is quite enough. I think we've got some decent players in there, but it's definitely time to maybe shake up that defence. Now, first, we're going to talk about Rafa Varane. He's a player who's had a lot of transfer rumours, Saudi, going back to Real Madrid, Bayern Munich have been offered. Now, obviously, he's out of contract in the summer, and we don't know whether he will look to extend now. Manchester United will probably do that. They'll probably trigger an extra year in this deal. I think Varane, over the years, has been a great defender. Now, Manchester United in the first bits, it was very, very injury full. I think he didn't play many games for us. And then I think this season and last season, I think he's been really good for us. I think last season in particular, he cemented a really good partnership with Lisandro Martinez. I think the partnership that they showed, the chemistry that they had, they complement each other really well. Varane was the more dominant player who was more physicality, whereas Martinez was probably the better one on the ball. Just someone who gets around, and I think they did really form a really good partnership. Now Varane, whether he's out of contract, Manchester United, out of the defenders that we have, he's most likely to be extended. I think Varane certainly might need to be moved on in maybe the next year or so, but I would definitely keep him. I think he's a great player to have around, a leader, numerous Champions Leagues, as I said, a World Cup winner as well. Just the way he plays, I think his ball playing ability has massively improved. I think his understanding of the game is to the highest quality. And he can't be a bad player if he played at Real Madrid for numerous of years. And for me, I think out of all the centre-backs that we have, he should be the one that we look to keep. I think, yes, he's 30 and he is getting older. But if he can stay injury-free, I think he is probably one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League. Obviously, you've got the Van Dijks, the Diaz's up there. You've got Saliba as well. I think Varane's probably top 10, top 15 maybe. I think he's a great player. The experience that he shows will be useful for some players in our squad to learn upon. We've got some young and up-and-coming defenders coming through, and I'm sure having Varane around the place will help us. And not only that, his ability is absolutely fantastic. I think he can play left centre-back, right centre-back, really comfortable on the ball, both feet, good in possession as well, and is a leader. And yeah, for me, he's one of the key players that Manchester United should look to keep at the back. Now, the next player who we want to discuss is Jonny Evans. Now, he's out of contract in the summer. Obviously, Manchester United offered him a year deal last summer, and that was a really weird move. I mean, no one expected Jonny Evans to come to Manchester United. It was so random. He started training with us, and then he got a contract. Now, that was under the old regime. What the new regime tend to do is, or what the new regime decide to do, will be interesting. I think Jonny Evans will probably be released as a free agent. I think Jonny Evans, he's played numerous of games for us, and he has been quite good, to be fair to him. But I just don't think he's Manchester United quality. As I said, he's quite old now, 36, 37. He's not going to get any quicker. He's a really physical defender, and he is really good on the ball. But I think Manchester United need to get a solid partnership, and Jonny Evans is a player who he'll probably retire from football soon. You need someone who can build for the future, and unfortunately Jonny Evans is not going to have it. I think he's been a great servant to Manchester United. Obviously had 2 big spells at the club, and yeah, he's someone that we're gonna probably get rid of and probably sell. So Varane we keep in, Jonny Evans we're selling. Lindelof now, 1 year left on his deal. He out of them, he's likely someone who we can get profit for. Now, I'm not too sure how much we signed Lindelof for. I think Lindelof's been a great defender for Manchester United in tough times. I think he's played over 250 times for Manchester United in a 6-7 year spell. I think he's been quite solid. Yes, obviously there's been inconsistencies when he's had that partnership with Maguire, which didn't quite work out under that Ollie time. But out of all the defenders, he's the one who's most likely going to get some money for, and we're going to hopefully make a profit on. Obviously, Saudi's been interested. Returning back to Benfica may be an option. And I think Lindelof's a decent player, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's a player, he's physical, sometimes does get bullied. I think he's fairly good on the ball. And we've seen some good bits, we've seen some bad bits at him at Old Trafford. I think there's been more probably negatives than positives. But last season he slowly cemented himself as a really good squad player. When Varane and Martinez picked up those injuries, he was really important for us. So yeah, I think there's definitely potential there with Lindelof. I mean, he is in his prime years now, so it's kind of hit or miss. And I think Lindelof might be kept. Now, moving on, Maguire. He's someone who's attracted a lot of interest. I mean, he was really close to leaving Manchester United. I mean, he hasn't had the best of times at Manchester United. I think the price tag obviously holds a big effect. I think obviously West Ham came in for him and then dropped out last minute. Got stripped of the captaincy as well, which was probably really difficult to take. But I think the way Maguire responded was absolutely fantastic. I think he's been really calm and sound about it. I think he's continued to be a great professional and a great quality player for us. I think he's been needed in moments this season. Got an assist in our last game against Villa, and some crucial blocks in the game. Great at winning headers. He's a good player on the ball. And obviously we know that his main issue is probably his pace, and that's something that's massively let him down. Now, he's gonna have a year left after this season. I remember when we signed him on a 5-6 year contract when we bought him. So looking like that might be extended. Now the final one we have is Willy Campoala. Now he's most likely to stay at Manchester United. Obviously he's relatively young. Varane's talked about him. I think he looks really good. Varane said he's got a lot of potential. And I think he's a good quality player. We haven't seen enough of him, so I can't really talk about him too much, but he's certainly one for the future. Now, out of Varane, Evans, Lindelof, Maguire and Campoala, probably one will get sold. I think you need maybe 5 solid centre-backs. I don't think 4's enough, like two for each position. You probably need 5. You need them to be versatile as well. So I think out of the ones, maybe Lindelof as well, but certainly definitely Evans, which leaves us with Campoala, Maguire, Lindelof and Varane. Now, I'm going to give you 3 options now that Manchester United may look to sign, add a new centre-back. Now, the first one is obviously someone you've probably heard of, Jean-Claude Todibo. I think he's been fantastic for Nice. And obviously, Sir Jim owns Nice. So that could be a deal that Manchester United look to explore. I think he's a great player, plays right centre-back, really physical and pacey as well. Kind of reminds me of well, I actually don't know, he's a really different defender to what Manchester United have had. Obviously, as I said, I did discuss Martinez, but he's definitely going to stay anyway. But yeah, I think Todibo is fantastic. I think the quality that he's shown consistently as well over time, he's constantly picking up good performances, and he is attracting quality from attracting interest for some big teams. I think you could probably get him for 40-45 million. I think the quality, as I said, the consistency, the ability he's shown is fantastic. He's sound on the ball, really physical, and we need a defender like that. I think Martinez is definitely one like that, and I think Topido's got the full package. Now, the second player that Manchester United may look to sign is Iheanacho. Now, I don't know too much about him. He's plays for Sporting, a left-footed centre-back. I think we do need cover for that. I think, obviously, Martinez is the only player that we have. Luke Shaw can play there as well. But I think Iheanacho is a great player. He's young as well, someone you can build the future on. And yeah, I think that's a player Manchester United can look to explore. But that was a bit of an in-depth discussion about the centre-back issues. Let me know what you think. Leave a like, comment and subscribe. This is an important video. The defence, we've had major defensive issues at Manchester United. And it's all about bringing in that. I think we do need quite a few centre-backs. I think they are getting older now, the current ones that we have, and they may need a chance for some development. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, comment and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching. Peace.